Well, President Trump just announced that on Friday he is going to unveil a list of Democrat-backed programs that he is going to close down as a result of this government shutdown. But what does this mean for you and I moving forward? Which programs is he going to cut? It's going to be things like education, climate, public media, and even additional foreign aid, according to most experts. Now, we're going to go over a list of some of these programs that are likely facing the axe on Friday. But here's the thing. This could also, according to reports, be a bluff that President Trump is just trying to negotiate and get a little more leverage so that Democrats side with Republicans and we end this government shutdown that's already extended 14 days. According to Speaker Mike Johnson, he believes this is going to be the longest shutdown we have ever seen, meaning we still have an additional 20 days just to match the 34-day total back from 2018 and 2019. But let's get right down to it. Look at this. It says Trump says he will unveil a list on Friday of Democrat programs to be shut. That's what he just said today. Look at this. It says he did not specify the programs but indicated that the closures would be permanent. This is not something that he is going to shut them temporarily until the government reopens and then he's going to open these back up. He says this would be permanent. That's huge. That means this could affect every single one of us. Look at this. He says the 15th government shutdown. Now it's in its 14th day, lingers into a third week as Republicans and Democratic lawmakers continue to blame each other for their impasse and disruptions that have resulted. Says only Democrats have made demands, and by the way, very expensive demands in return for voting to reopen the government. That's according to John Thune, who's the Senate Majority Leader. Tim Kaine, a Virginia Democrat who represents many furloughed federal workers, told NPR's Morning Edition on Tuesday it will take Trump engaging with Democrats to end the shutdown. Says, if the president engages, we can solve this in 48 hours. Here's the thing. President Trump is not the one doing the negotiating. That's the issue that some Democrats have. They say this is only going to continue to go longer and longer and longer until President Trump is the only one that's negotiating. Here's the thing. President Trump feels he has a little more power, and here's the reason why. Look what President Trump is saying. It says right here, okay, paycheck for troops. What President Trump announced just this past week is that he has informed Pete Hegseth to find the money. Look at this right here. It says, Trump said he's directing Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to use all available funds to pay members of the military on Wednesday, October 15th, despite the shutdown. Okay, here's the interesting thing. Many Democrats believe that President Trump wouldn't let this shutdown get this far because these military members, military personnel, wouldn't be paid. President Trump found a workaround. Look at this. It says the Pentagon said Tuesday that it will use $8 billion found in research, development, and testing funds to cover paychecks for the troops on Wednesday. The move won the approval of Speaker Johnson. He goes on to say, look, my understanding of this is they have every right to move the funds around. Duly appropriated dollars from Congress to the Department of Defense. He said, if the Democrats want to go to court and challenge troops being paid, bring it, okay? Here's the concern Democrats have. How do they go and take this to court, challenge that our military personnel should not be paid? That would be a nightmare, a PR nightmare, that now Democrats say no, our military personnel should be working for free. Yeah, it won't look good. But let's get right to it. So what are some of the things that President Trump is likely going to cut? Now, I have a list here. I'm not going to read all these because some of these, again, it's more speculation than anything. But according to multiple reports and according to people very familiar with kind of the decisions, say these are the ones that are likely going to be cut. Okay? So, here we go. First off, President Trump says he's going to unveil a list of egregious Democrat-run programs. These will be permanent shutdowns. Okay? They will not be coming back. Some of the top targets, okay, confirmed. All right? These are likely. So anything DEI related, likely gone. Okay? And we've already seen that. President Trump, he already cut these through executive order, but again, these are likely just to be gone. Public broadcasting. This is like PBS, NPR, which we just heard from in this article. Yeah, they could become defunded, all right? And they could lose everything. Again, during the previous bill, a lot of the funding was already taken, but this could completely wipe them off the map. Climate and clean energy projects. We're already seeing some states aren't getting the funding that they were promised. According to reports, especially blue states like New York could see climate and clean energy projects completely go away. The funding gone. So these projects that have already started, and this is why I'm bringing this to your attention. If you are let's say a construction worker, you do road work. Well, for here in the Seattle, Washington area, we have so much road work. So there's so many, detours. There's bridge work. There's road work. There's this and that. If we saw that this government funding went away, first off, these projects wouldn't be finished. They would be stuck in the middle. And then all the workers that have been working on these for months, or well, here in Seattle, it's been years. But all those workers, what do they do now? Where do they go? So all those companies that pretty much planned for years doing these projects, now done. The money just got pulled. So that's one of the other ones. Education access programs like TRIO, gone. Okay, these are, according to reports, this is what's likely to be cut. Okay, any additional international aid, gone. Okay, this is these are Republicans, not demands, but this is what they're likely going to do. If Democrats continue to hold out, they're just going to cut Democrat-backed programs. Other possible cuts that they could make, grants for like arts and humanities, cut. Okay, we could see these programs get shut down. The funding gone. Now, here's an interesting one. The WIC nutrition program. What we are hearing is that the funding won't go away. Okay, it's not going to go away. But there could be some changes as far as who actually qualifies. And this could impact several people. This is a program that goes to like 8 million women. And so this is a very important program, which the president has already said he is going to allocate about $300 million from the tariff revenue, and he's going to put that towards WIC. So I don't think we see WIC as far as the program get shut down, but we could see some alternatives there where we're only going to give money to those that are absolutely in need. So we'll see what happens there. Okay? There's a few others I want to just go over. First off, education. Okay, that's going to be a big one. We've already seen, I think just in the past, 24 hours, special education, they lost like 4,000 employees. Okay, they're pretty much laid off. Yeah, so that's happening. Like grants, that money, okay, that money, the projects for like social impacts and things like that could be frozen. So that's another one. Here's the interesting thing though. What we are hearing right now, okay, is that this could be a blueprint of what President Trump is considering. Okay, what we're likely to see over the next, several days. Today's Tuesday, October 14th. So on Friday, it's going to be a big day. Okay, but think about this for a second. This isn't just a list of programs that President Trump is wanting to shut down. Okay, this is likely his roadmap going forward. Okay, that's likely what it is. He is telling us exactly how he wants his second term to go. Okay? He said, and I quote, he wants things to be more leaner, more nationalistic, less tied to progressive initiatives. Here's the thing. How many people, how much of the public gets behind President Trump and supports his idea to shut down these programs in order to save money? Okay? Because how is this going to impact all of our communities? That's what we don't know. So we're going to see what this is going to look like on Friday, but I just want to share this with you because right now a lot of people are questioning whether or not Democrats actually stand firm and stick to what they've been asking for the past couple weeks, or do they decide, you know what, we can't risk these programs shutting down and closing because that's going to impact every single one of our communities. But here's the other thing. If President Trump, and this is where many Democrats are at, and I talked to somebody today that has been in a few meetings just this week alone, and he said that the concern is if President Trump is going to use this shutdown as a way to end some of these programs, what stops him from ending these programs if Democrats were to just agree with what Republicans are doing and open up the federal government and pass the bill? That's the concern. So right now, they're both playing hardball. They're both playing chicken, and neither one wants to be the one to lose. So, in the end, it's likely you and I, the American people, that are going to lose this battle. So, as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get it. As of today, that is what we know. Those are the programs that are likely going to be cut, and that's how millions of Americans are likely going to see benefits change. So, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.